This is Eagle Owl, and today I will be talking about why the Eagles run the NFC, and also we will go over Thursday injury report. But let's get straight into it.
Hey, what's up? It's Mauro Ojimo. Shout out to Eagle Owl, the biggest Eagles fan out there. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
All right, so let's talk about the injury report. The injury report was, I guess, semi better, but not too much. But let's go over who was hurt. All right, so here we go. Darren Barnett still with the personal issue. Grant Calcaterra, ankle. Justin Evans, knee, and he's still on IR. That's really interesting. Okay, Dallas Goedert, forearm. We already know about that. And Milton Williams, concussion. Man, I wish Milton Williams could play, but I doubt it. Wide receiver AJ Brown still dealing with the thigh injury. DeAndre Swift, ankle. Quez Watkins is still limited. And Julio Jones was a full participant today. So Julio Jones looked like he's on a track to play. Well, that's the only difference between yesterday and the day before yesterday is that Julio Jones is practicing, which is good. You know, maybe we can use him. We're not sure what's going on with AJ Brown. More than likely, AJ Brown is going to fight to play unless the trainers and coaches hold him back. But then I guess you have Julio Jones on the outside, but Julio is not the same guy. So we really have to rely on Smitty. DeAndre Swift, man, I want him to get healthy because he's the weapon. I want both guys, AJ Brown and DeAndre Swift. Those two are the weapons, but especially DeAndre Swift with a Dallas Goedert missing, and DeAndre Swift can almost do anything. You could put him in the slot and get mismatches. You can use him as a runner. Like DeAndre Swift, man. Say if AJ Brown was able to go and we're missing DeAndre Swift, it's not going to be a good day. It's definitely not going to be a good day. If any guy is missing, even if we are missing AJ Brown, DeAndre Swift is able to go. AJ Brown missing, it's going to be a long day, man. So hopefully those two guys especially could get healthy, and of course the other guys, but we need those two guys to beat Buffalo. All right, so let's get into why the Eagles run the NFC. So I watched the games yesterday. So basically, it was all NFC games if you think about it. Lions and Green Bay, Dallas and Commanders, and 49ers and Seahawks. So yeah, basically all NFC games. So now if you ask me, Eagle Owl, which team would you rather lose if you had to pick one? The Lions, the 49ers, or the Cowboys? I'm emotionally thinking, I'm like, yeah, the Cowboys, because I hate them. They in the NFC East. Yeah, I just want them to lose for bragging rights. But if you're thinking logically, you'll want the Lions to lose. You want the Lions to lose because besides us, well, we only got one loss and they had two losses at the time. So we're like, well, if they can lose, we can start stretching away with the lead in the NFC, and especially if we handle our food coming up Sunday. And that's exactly what happened. Now, every other team has three or more losses in the NFL, and the Eagles still only have one. So, yeah, man, it is looking good that we run the NFC because even when I watch Detroit, they got a huge turnover problem. They turn the ball over. See, the thing is, they could get scores in bunches, but Green Bay made them pay. Like, the Bears don't have the firepower to make them pay for their turnovers, but Green Bay did a very good job of making them pay. And I kept saying, people like, yeah, Detroit got the easier schedule. But then when I seen the division games they got coming up, I'm like, yeah, Green Bay might be easy to a team outside of the division, or the Bears might be easy to a team outside of the division, even the Vikings. But when it's in the division, you just simply never know. And look, Green Bay made them pay. Let's go to that Cowboys and Commanders game. Can I just say it? The Commanders are tanking. It was expected. Commanders hung in there for a long time. I think in the third quarter, it was still like 10 to 20. I'm sorry, it was Thanksgiving. I was in and out watching the game, but I knew for a while, I'm like, oh, this game is close. But Cowboys start pulling away because Sam Howell couldn't get nothing done on the offensive side. And the Cowboys do what they do to lesser teams. They run the score up, they break records, they score 40 burgers. Tell them to do that to a winning team. Until they do that to a winning team, I can't give them any respect. Now, people will use the Eagles' last year's schedule against them, right? But with us last year, we only could play who was on the schedule. So they are playing who's on the schedule, but losing to winning teams. Like they played the Eagles, lost. They played the 49ers and lost. Well, Arizona Cardinals is not a winning team, so I can't even count them, but they lost to them. Any team that was physical with them, they lost to. The two teams that had a better record than them, they lost to. So I can't respect the Cowboys until they do something to some competition, because the playoffs, it's not going to be the Commanders in there. No way. So again, you got to beat some high caliber teams for us to respect you. Now, the bit media is going to respect you for whatever reason, but to get all around respect, you got to do something to some winning teams. I'm sorry. But Bland did his thing, broke the record. I got to do something. 49ers, I see all of a sudden they getting their respect. And I respect the 49ers win over the Cowboys win, because I could say the Seahawks are technically a playoff team and they did them dirty. And not just the playoff team, they're a division team and did them dirty. But 49ers, I can't wait to see y'all. But again, we played the 49ers and we played the Cowboys. The only team we didn't play that I wanted to lose is the Lions. So we literally had to rely on other teams to beat the Lions so we can get that number one seed. I want that number one seed because I want to buy. I want us to heal up, see if more guys can come back for the later stretch, and play the divisional round, the championship game, and get to that Super Bowl. That's looking more and more likely because, again, the Lions are getting figured out. Cowboys, we played them. 49ers, we played them. And not that the Lions just lost to any old team. They lost to an NFC team. So now they got a loss in the conference too. They got a loss in the conference. So we'd still be like, I think it goes like 1.5 if we were to lose, because it would be an AFC team. So we would technically still be undefeated in the NFC in general. Like if it was a tiebreaker, I think they would give it to us. So shout out to the Green Bay Packers, man. They starting to peak. They are starting to peak. Yeah, thank you again for the Green Bay Packers for doing that solid. And Thanksgiving, everything happened perfectly. Well, if the Cowboys would have lost, it would have been perfectly. But when you think about it, the Lions losing, that was perfect. That was perfect for the Eagles. Again, Sunday, Kelly Greens. Yes, and those Kelly Greens, we should not lose. We should not lose in those Kelly Greens. You hear what Jalen Hurts said about the Kelly Greens. I'm going to go ahead and play this clip. Yes, again, we should not lose in those Kelly Greens. But hey, man, what do you think and how do you feel about the news today? Not too much to talk about. I wanted to go over the injury report because honestly, I didn't think the Eagles were going to practice on Thursday. But I'm like, well, if they practice that morning, they go with their families for Thanksgiving. But yeah, man, hopefully that injury report get better. And lastly, do you think the Eagles run the NFC, or am I tripping? Do you think the Cowboys are coming up? Do you think the 49ers are coming up? Or the Lions can bounce back? We will see. But in my opinion, right now, Eagles run the NFC. There's no team better. I don't care if they keep saying we in close games, but when you beat the Dolphins, I guess when you beat the Cowboys, who everybody love, and when you beat the Chiefs, It shows you a legitimate team, in my opinion. NFC runs through Philly, but this is Eagle Owl. I'm up.